Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Harness. Welcome to Questplay Skyrim, AZALEA'S Adventures, Chapter 9. So real quick, before we kind of get going too far into this chapter, quick disclaimer. So when I was recording Chapter 8, I had this weird issue when I was speaking to Wylandria, the court mage in Riften. Specifically when I was bartering with her, that somehow caused my game to crash. Like, anybody else I could barter with just fine. But her, for some reason, every time like I tried to barter with her, and I tried this a couple of times, like my game crashed. So that means that I had to, since I hadn't saved in a while, like I had to replay through Chapter 7 and Chapter 8. So if you guys see something kind of get like repeated, or kind of just like happening again, that kind of thing, I do apologize for that. I did try and get everything cut together as professionally as possible, but at the end of the day, you know, it's just Skyrim being Skyrim. Alright, and so with all of that out of the way, today what we're going to do is we're going to kind of keep poking around Riften, see if we can kind of figure out, you know, what the deal is with the Thieves Guild. And I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. And let's start Chapter 9. Alright, Inigo, any thoughts on the Thieves Guild?
No, my mind is as empty as a beggar's purse.
Yeah, you don't say, man.
Good day, friend. Keeping well?
I was hoping you could tell me something about the Thieves Guild. I know they were shaking you down. Let's see what I can sell. Hello, Bercy.
What can I do for you? I have all sorts of interesting items for sale. Have you looked around?
Not yet, but can you tell me about the Thieves Guild?
They used to be pretty feared around here. I mean, you'd whisper the name, and it'd send chills down your spine. Now, they're nothing more than ruffians and thugs, trying to pry a few extra coin from honest people. All it would take is a small force of guard to go into the Ratway and flush them out.
What is the Ratway?
It's our name for the old sewers that run under the city. It used to be a huge system hundreds of years ago, but it fell into decay, just like the rest of Riften. The guild stocks the place full of thugs that aren't good enough to join, so watch yourself if you venture down there.
Not planning on it, but thank you for the advice. What have you got for sale, my friend?
Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
This iron dagger that I picked up. Oh, thank you for your time, sir. Eatery. Probably not gonna be super useful.
Vegetables as crisp as a winter's morning.
Working at the Riften fishery is tough, but it puts some coin in my pocket.
Oh, thank you, Tithus.
20
How did you
gold
keep it
coins,
so
and
fresh?
all this could be yours.
How can a humble servant of Talos help you?
Come to see
Balamand.
Balamand perform miracles with steel, eh?
Well, I don't know about all that, but
What brings you to Balamand today? Repair? Purchase?
yeah, I'd like to see. Do you have any
Blades? Helmets? Pretty much anything to suit your needs.
leather, anything like that? All right, thank
if
you.
need any more smithing work, come see me.
Learn a a library's worth of knowledge.
All right.
Missing limb with my genuine Falma.
All right, Iniga. So I've upgraded our tent. Now it has 2 bedrolls, so you don't have to sleep outside anymore.
Remember to give up about that suit of leather
Yeah,
armor.
that's something that I do pretty frequently.
Rare trinkets in the finest genuine Falma blood elixir.
Wonder if the Jarl's people can tell me anything about the Thieves Guild. Well, I've already asked you everything that I could.
Welcome to Riften, traveler.
Tell me about the Thieves Guild.
We're all eager to see them brought to justice. Maven Blackbriar has assured me that they're being dealt with appropriately. As one of our city's most influential citizens, she's taken it upon herself to oversee their incarceration. Sadly, they're proving elusive, but I have confidence that Maven won't give up until this city has been rid of them all.
Understood.
Good
Well,
journey to you.
so I wish you luck then. Alright, Inigo, so it doesn't really seem like there's anything that we can really do to like help with this whole Thieves Guild thing. Not sure what I'd be able to do anyway.
Yes,
But
my friend.
do you have any thoughts on it?
This would be a nice place to rule from. It has character and warmth, just like me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sure.
Tell me a little more about your past.
My brother and I never knew our real parents. We were found abandoned in a smelly shack by a soldier on his way to battle. We melted his heart with our fuzzy little faces, and he carried us to the nearest town. He deposited us at an orphanage, and that is where we spent most of our childhood.
Interesting, I didn't know you had a brother. What more can you tell me?
My brother and I were adopted by a couple of retired assassins. I guess the orphanage did not do a family background check.
Apparently not. That must have led to a very interesting childhood.
Mine was perhaps a little more unconventional than most, but I suppose all childhoods are interesting to some degree. My parents provided me with love and encouragement. Apart from the nightly training sessions, we were a normal family. What's next?
Interesting. What is next? Alright, and this should be something that's a little more up my alley. Actually helping out with the temple. So helping Mara kind of spread the message of love. Yeah, well, I guess there's nothing that we can really do about this whole Thieves Guild thing. But again, I don't really know what we could have done to begin with. So.
Your lead lies with the Empire. We haven't much to discuss.
In good news, Inigo, I think I have enough spare coin to get you a steed.
Need a drink? You go to the B and Bob. They're out of the ragged flat. They're out of rat.
Too lazy to walk, eh? Well, you found the right place. Got horses that need shoeing, so make it quick.
Can I buy a horse?
Don't mind if you do. What's your price?
1,000 septums.
Sold. She's all yours. She's already saddled up.
Great, thank you very much.
Let's get
All
back
right.
to it. Ask away.
Mind if I ask you something? So, Inigo, I'd like to give you a horse.
Really?
Yes, take my Riften horse.
That delightful dappled horse with a song in his heart and fire in his belly? What a gift! Thank you!
You're welcome. Hopefully, it means that we can get to Skyrim a little easier.
My very own steed. Wow.
Too late. Okay. Well, you found the right place.
Are you able to take us to Iverstead?
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
Never
That's
mind.
fine.
Alright, Inigo, I guess we are off then. So to get to Iverstead, we need to go, looks like, northwest. Right. Alright, well, let's head off, Inigo. Alright, Inigo. So we're going to Iverstead.
But die alone. Just like the rest of us.
But there appears to be something weird going on in this cave. Something very disturbing. What you doing there, bud? Let's see what's going on in this cave. Alright, Inigo, let's figure out what's going on in this. Inigo. Go. Inigo, where did you go? Oh. Back in stone. Interesting. Alright, well, I'm gonna reflect. And meditate while I wait for my friend. I think it would be beneficial if I started looking into training my one-handed. That way I can be better with the sword. There you are.
Uh-huh.
Any thoughts? Yeah, well, alright, that's fair. I'm gonna check out this disturbing cave. Alright, Inigo. Let's check out what's going on this cave. One thing I do want to do once we're kind of maybe done in this cave, everyone kind of keeps pointing me to that college up at Winterhold. Maybe I can learn more about magic there. Oh dear. But yeah, everyone says like that's the place to learn about magic. So I do want to learn a little bit more about magic. I definitely want to learn more about fighting. I wonder if there's a place that I can learn about that. Man, yeah, I don't think... Do you think the college teaches any kind of, like, fighting skills? Well, I know they teach magic, so hopefully when we get up there we can inquire more. What is that thing?
Yes.
Oh, well, whatever it is, it's hostile. Are you okay? You look injured. Even is this thing? Frostbite spider. Alright, I'm gonna take a second to heal up and meditate here. Bitch. What do you think these witches are doing down here? Seems like they're never up to anything good when they're in caves. Oh, what is that thing? Nico, do you think you can disarm that for me?
What would you have me do? I will aid you if I can. It will be done.
If possible. Ooh.
Damn it.
Sorry about that, Inigo. I don't see any way of disarming it. Get here, my friend. Oh, fuck. Alright. You're almost there. You're almost there. You can do it. Oh, let me give you some potions.
What are we trading?
I'm gonna give you some potions.
If you need anything else, just ask.
Yeah, no problem. I am sorry about that, my friend. I don't even know how that thing was attacking us. Whoop. One of these monsters.
They are better this way.
I don't know about that, Inigo. We did kind of come into their home. So, I'm actually not sure that we were really in the right here. But those witches were up to something. Oh.
They have stopped moving.
I mean, because we also get like attacked by wolves a lot. Wonder if there's a way that we can, I don't know, maybe like mask ourselves from these kind of things. Alright, I'll check that out in a second. Oh! There's another one.
Are dead.
Oh. Bandit. Oh. Oh. Alright, let's go check out that secret door. Oh. Oh dear. Another witch. Nigo, I have to say, so far, I'm really glad that you decided to accompany with me. I don't think I could have taken most of these challenges on my own. Tenny. All right. Let's see. Oh, potion. More potions. What's that book I just picked up? Vampires in Boulderfall Cave. Attention adventurers. Vigilant Stendar has brought word of an increased vampire activity in the Rift, particularly in the area near Shorestone and Boulderfall Cave. Travelers should take extra caution when traveling at night. So, let's see, are we? We're in Snaplake Cave. Boulderfall Cave. Note on Greywater Grotto. Strange noises emanating from Greywater Grotto, a cave south near to the border of Cyrodiil. There's no evidence of danger, but travelers should proceed with caution. Okay. Breathing Water. Breathing Water by Haliel Myrm. He walked through the dry, crowded streets of Balfell, glad to be among so many strangers. In the wharfs of Vivek, he had no such anonymity. They knew him to be a smuggler, but here he could be anyone. A lower-class peddler, perhaps? A student, even. Some people even pushed against him as he walked past, as if to say, "We would not dream of being so rude as to acknowledge that you don't belong here." Serene Relis was not in any way of the taverns, but he knew she was somewhere. Perhaps behind a tenement window, or poking around in a dunghill for an exotic ingredient or for some spell or another. He knew little of the ways of the sorceresses, but that they always seemed to be doing something eccentric. Well, that's for sure. Whatever they were doing here in this cave was certainly eccentric. Because of this prejudice, he nearly passed by the old dumber woman having a drink from a well. It was too prosaic, but he knew from the look that she was Serene Relis, the great sorceress. "I have gold for you," he said to her back. "You will teach me the secret of breathing water." She turned around, a wide, wet grin stressed across her weathered features. "I ain't breathing it, boy. I'm just having a drink." "Don't mock me," he said stiffly. "Either you're Serene Relis, and you will teach me the spell of breathing water, or you aren't. Those are the only possibilities. If you're going to learn to breathe water, you're going to have to learn that there's more possibilities than that, boy. The School of Alteration is all about possibilities, changing patterns, making things be what they said, or what they could be. Maybe I ain't Serene Relis, but I can teach you how to breathe water. You wipe their mouths dry. Or maybe I am Serene Relis, and I won't. Or maybe I can even teach you to breathe water, but you won't learn." "I'll learn," he said simply. "Why don't you just buy yourself a spell of water breathing or a potion at the Mages Guild?" she asked. "That's how it's generally done." "They're not powerful enough," he said. "I need to be underwater for a long time. I'm willing to pay whatever you ask, but I don't want any questions. I was told you could teach me. What's your name, boy?" "That's a question," he replied. His name was Therian Winloth, but in Vivek, they called him the Toll Man. His job, such as it was collecting a percentage of the loot from the smugglers when they came into harbor to bring his boss into the Kamana Tong. Of the value of that percentage, he earned another percentage. In the end, it was very small indeed. He had scarcely any gold of his own, and what he had he gave to Serene Relis. Excuse me. The lessons began that very day. The sorceress brought her pupil, who she simply called Boy, out to a low sandbank among the sea. "I would teach you a powerful spell for breathing water," she said. "But you must become a master of it. As with all spells and skills, the more you practice, the better you get. Even that ain't enough. To achieve true mastery, y'all must understand what it is you're doing. It ain't simply enough to perform a perfect thrust of a blade. You must also know what you're doing and why." "Well, that's common sense," said Therian. "Yes, it is," said Serene, closing her eyes. "But the spells of alteration are all about uncommon sense. The infinite possibilities breaking the sky, swallowing space, dancing with time. setting ice and fire, believing that the unreal may become real. You must learn the rules of the cosmos and then break them. That sounds very difficult, replied Therian, trying to keep a straight face. Serene pointed to a small silver fish darting along the water's edge. They don't find us so. They breathe water just fine. But that's not magic. What I'm saying to you, boy, is that it is. For several weeks, Serene drilled her student, and the more he understood about what he was doing and the more he practiced, the longer he could breathe underwater. When he found that he could cast a spell for as long as he needed, he thanked the sorceress and bade her farewell. There's one last lesson I had to teach you, she said. You must learn that desire is not enough. The world will end your spell, no matter how good you are and no matter how much you want it. That's a lesson I'm happy not to learn, he said, and left at once for the short journey back to Vivek. The wasps were much the same, with all the same smells, the same sounds, and the same characters. His boss had found a new tollman, and he had learned from his mates. They were still looking out for the smuggler ship Myrm, but they had given up hope of ever seeing it. Tharian knew that they would not. He had seen it sink from the wharf a long time ago. On a moonless night, he cast a spell and dove into the thrashing purple waves. He kept his mind on the world of possibilities, that books could sing, that green was blue, that water was air, that every stroke and kick and brought him closer to a sunken ship filled with treasure. He felt magicka surge all around him as he pushed all the way deeper down. Ahead he saw the ghostly shadow of the Mordrung, its mast billowing in a wind of deep water currents. He also felt the spell begin to fade. He could break reality long enough to breathe water all the way back up to the surface, but not enough to reach the ship. The next night he dove again, and this time his spell was stronger. He could see the vessel in detail, clouded over and dusted in sediment. The wound in its hull, where it had struck the reef, a glint of gold beckoning from within, but still he felt reality closing in and he had to surface. The third night he made it into the steerage, past the bloated corpse of the sailors, nibbled and picked apart by fish, their glassy eyes bulging, their mouths stretched open. Had they only known the spell, he thought briefly, but his mind was more occupied by the gold scattered along the floor. The boxes that contained them shattered. He considered scooping as much as he could into his pockets, but a sturdy iron box seemed to bespeak more treasures. On the wall was a row of keys. He took each down and tried it on the locked box, but none opened it. One key, however, was missing. Therian looked around the room. Where could it be? His eyes went to the corpse of one of the sailors, floating in a dance of death not far from the box, his hands tightly clutching something. It was the key. When the ship had begun to sink, this sailor had evidently gone for the iron box. Whatever it was in it had to be very valuable. Therian took the sailor's key and opened the box. It was filled with broken glass. He rummaged around until he felt something solid and pulled out 2 flasks of some kind of wine. He smiled as he considered the foolishness of the poor alcoholic. This was what was important to the sailor, out of all the treasure in the Mordrung. Then, suddenly, Therian Windloff felt reality. He had not been paying attention to the grim, tireless advance of the world upon his spell. It was fading away, his ability to breathe water. There was no time to surface, there was no time to do anything. As he sucked in, his lungs filled with the cold, briny water. A few days later, the smugglers working on the wharf came upon the drowned body of a former tollman. Finding a body in the water of Vivek was not in itself noteworthy, but the subject that they discussed over many bottles of flint is how it happened that he drowned with 2 potions of water breathing in his hands. Interesting tale, Inigo. Breathing water definitely sounds interesting, but, you know, it sounds like you would need many years of study to make it effective. You can't just quickly go to go and abandon a ship. Interesting. Interesting. Well, what is going on here? Oh, there's a couple of witches. Or there's a witch and I have no idea what that thing is.
Something on your mind?
Nico, are you able to free this creature?
How can I help you, my friend? You're the boss. Okay, lead the way.
Alright. Well, whatever's going on, we gotta put a stop to it.
That one.
Ooh, that's... Don't need to celebrate that, Inigo. Some kind of enchantment table. Well, I think we freed that creature. Oh, look at this. Interesting. More treasure. Right. Where does this put us? Alright, back to as it seems. Alright guys, that is gonna do it for Chapter 9. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. And so today, basically, what happened is we poked around Riften a little bit more just to figure out about the Thieves Guild. Figured out that we can't really do anything about it. We were pointed towards Iverstead, where we could help out with the Temple of Mara. To help spread Mara's love. But on the way to Iverstead, we came across Snapleg Cave, which had some witches in it, and a Hagraven as well as a Brigand. All things that were brand new to Azalea, so she's going to process all of that. But she is pretty set on heading towards the College of Winterhold and learning a little bit more about magic. Alright, well, once again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. I will see you all next time.